a tier list which basically ranks between D to S on the games that are shown on the Xbox Showcase. And in here, we talk about the potential of the games there, like if it's going to be really exciting, how well they looked, and we also judge them based on the trailer and how much of the games have shown us for those trailers. I hope that makes sense. Yeah.
Yes. So I mean, I was just saying earlier that I don't think there is any game in this entire showcase that was a D to me. So if I put anything in D, don't take it personally. Don't take it personally if you like. If I put a game in D, it's not because it's bad. It's because the show was so fucking good. Like there's going to be a lot of S's and A's. I think in this tier list. I think D's going to be. Yeah, I'm going to feel bad putting anything in D personally, but we'll see if that happens. I have a couple in mind that I think I might put in there, but I still think they were good games. But we'll see. We'll get there.
I need to press on. You'll probably be wondering about the extra tier that's at the bottom, and you have 3 games. That's because these are the 3 games that kept being shown on every Xbox showcase. I mean, you have so much content for Sea of Thieves, Fallout 76, and Elder Scrolls Gold Road, and yet no bloody content for Halo Infinite. But anyway,
do we want to put World of Warcraft in there as well, or does that not count?
Well, you could say that in there, but then that hasn't been shown in the Xbox Showcase before, so I'm going to give it extra credit for it.
You're going to give it a pass for now. That's fair enough.
So basically, you have all those games here, and that includes all the DLCs and updates. So, for example, for Starfield Shattered Space, this actually counts, and this can be placed on, say, the D tier, for instance. But we're not going to do that because we're going to have a discussion on some of these games for today, because there are some games we don't really have a lot of comments for it, and just put them into the ranks based on our initial reaction to it. If we had more time, we could have went through every single one and talking about our thoughts and opinions on it.
So how are we doing this? Are we going through the pot? Are we doing it alphabetically? Are we doing it as it was shown in the showcase? Or are we just going in the way you've listed it?
Well, actually, it's the way I listed it. Because I've given you a document of which games that we should be going through. And there's also a quickfire round where we sift through all the games and put them into their respective ranks.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do some ranking. Why in this episode we'll be talking about the games we care more about and put the rest of the games into it. But if you feel that we skipped through some of the games and we should have talked more about it, then please let us know in the comments, and we may even have an extra episode to talk about the other games that we kind of overlooked on. So let's begin with Call of Duty Black Ops 6. So if I bring it up here,
I would say A. I wouldn't say it's an S, but I would say it was really good. I really enjoyed it. The action made me sold on the game, to be honest. So I would say an A for me. How about you?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think it has more coverage than it deserves, really. And I thought, this is a Call of Duty game every year. It's made more special because it's revealed to be an Xbox title, which will come to Game Pass first. But it looks as if the Treyarch, who's the developers of this game, has actually put more technology into it. It made the campaign huge. Could be bigger than Black Ops 2, because in that game, which is the last Call of Duty game I played, it's a campaign that gives you choices that changes story as you go along. And I think they might be putting a bit of a spin on it. Because you will probably be wondering about Call of Duty Black Ops 5. That's Black Ops Cold War. But this one is set in 1991 and deals around the Gulf War. And I think it's just going to lead to some interesting things. There's heist and other things. It just seems like they're just going to bring fun back into Call of Duty.
Well, I would say the opening trailer was really fun. Then the direct was really interesting as well. I feel like they're going back to round-based zombies, which is what everyone wants. They're bringing back Prestige for multiplayer, which everyone wants. They got this new movement system, which sounds really interesting, and I'm really intrigued to see how that works, with being able to sprint left, right, and backwards as well as forwards. I mean, that's going to be really interesting. It's going to open up a whole new like combat. Interesting. I've not had any interest in a Call of Duty game since I think the same as you, Black Ops 2 or maybe Modern Warfare 3. And I completely fell off. But this one has really piqued my interest, and especially because I don't have to pay 70 quid to try it out. I can try it out on Game Pass and see what I think. I think it looks really fun. I might end up playing it. It might be rubbish, but from what I can tell, I'm really excited for it so far. I wouldn't say it's the game I'm most excited for, hence why I put it in A instead of S. But yeah, I think it looked good. I think it looked like it had a really good showing.
So, do you think it actually influenced you to get back to Call of Duty because this game is on Game Pass?
Yes, definitely, 100%.
So, what you would feel if this is not going to come to Game Pass? Like, if a deal doesn't go through and it's like, oh, this game was announced for like PlayStation and Xbox, how would you feel about that?
Well, I don't know if I would have watched the 20-minute direct for a game that I knew that wasn't going on Game Pass, because that was the main thing. I was like, I'm watching it because I knew I was going to give it a try. I would probably be interested in playing it because it sounds interesting, but I think I would have waited for a price drop. Because usually Call of Duty games go down in price after like 6 months, and then I would buy it at like 30 quid or 20 quid when it's on a sale. I would not pay 70 quid for a Call of Duty game because I've got so many Call of Duty games and they all play very similar. So me personally, I wouldn't have paid 70 for it. But as of getting it on Game Pass, I'm willing to check it, give it a go, buy a battle pass on there, maybe buy some skins, show that I'm invested. Me personally, I'm into it though. I think it looks really good. I don't think it's not the best game of the show, but it is a game I'm excited to play now for sure. It's a lot more excited than I was going into it. I went from like a 4 or 5 out of 10 to like maybe an 8 or 9 out of 10 of excitement level. I think I'm very excited for it. This is on my list of games I'm looking forward to this year for sure.
I would bring up the fact you did get Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. You bought it. And then you realise there's loads of microtransactions, and you got so pissed off that you asked for the refund on it.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I agree. Everyone says that the new Modern Warfare games are not as good, and it looks good this one. It looks like they like try it. And there was no zombies in Modern Warfare 2, whereas zombies is the main thing that's selling me on the Call of Duty Black Ops because I love zombies. Zombies is my favorite thing in like Call of Duty.
Well, to me, I think.
Were you not sold on the direct? Because I think we both went into it with like meh feelings, but after the direct at the end, I was quite excited. I was like, oh, it looks like they've put a lot of time and effort into this, and this does seem really interesting. I came out completely different to you. I mean, did it not change your mind at all?
I would have to say on this is that, to be honest, yeah, you're right. They did put a lot of time and effort into this, and they put more technologies, which could be the game-changing Call of Duty. And to be honest, Trainiac is literally the better developers for it since Infinity Ward, which they did the originals really good, but then they just fell off, and they're not that legendary. And the recent games they did weren't that impressive. But with this one, this could be like the next jump on point where people can just join in and play Call of Duty. And I have to say that is like really promising. To be honest, I'm a bit skeptical. I'm not particularly sure this is it for me to go back to Call of Duty. But based on what I saw, what I experienced in Direct, I do feel this is it has a lot of potential. And yeah, I think I would agree with you to put on like an A tier. So
yeah. That's good.
There you go.
Also, I was going to say, if this was Modern Warfare 3 that was on Game Pass, I would not be excited because Modern Warfare 3 was just reskinned maps and all that. It only had like 2 years of development, and it was apparently a massive shit show. Whereas this one actually looks like it's had time and investment into it. So I'm a bit more excited because it looks like it's actually going to be a decent game, I hope. Fingers crossed. So it's not just because it's on Game Pass, it's because it looks like they've actually put some time and effort into it. Right. Next game.
Perfect Dark. Now this one has been like much rumored for some time, and you said that it's probably be forgotten, but they show in a showcase. It looks really good, and when I first saw it, I thought it was like a Microsoft Flight Simulator, which I foolishly thought, and then turns out Oh shit, there is Perfect Dark. Joanna's like a bit different. She's a bit
Yeah,
more strawberry
she's strawberry
blonde,
blonde. Yeah,
but the
yeah, strawberry
gameplay's
blonde, not
been
ginger.
reworked and it just focuses on espionage and has more killing the enemies. And you said it's like a mixture between Dishonored and, of course, Mirror's Edge, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say that, or like DSX. It looks like one of those. It looks like a adventure story game with stealth elements, like Dishonored, like you said, or DSX. I'm totally excited for this. This looks really good. I'm very excited.
I
This is
agree.
one of my games of the show. I would say it'd be an S tier for me.
Yeah, uh, honestly, I think I tend to be more modest and just save the ratings till the end. But when I
Okay,
first saw
sorry.
it, it pushed the capabilities of Series X. It looks really fantastic. And I'm so glad that the developers haven't chucked it away. And the fact that this
Yeah.
exists when, like, over 10 years ago, you have Perfect Dark Zero, which came out in about 2005 or 6. And this one, that
Yes.
wasn't that impressive. But with this trailer, it made me so hope that this is going to be the real return of that famed franchise that just came out on the Nintendo 64. So for that reason,
Yes.
I'm going to put it on the S tier.
Woo! S tier. S tier. We've got to be careful though, because if I'm looking at this, I can think there'd be like 5 or 6 games that I would put in the S tier. So I've got to be careful not to overdo it with my S tiers. But I think Perfect Dark fits there perfectly
Well,
for
to
sure.
me, the only thing is that may not have some kind of bit of a release date or some sort like that. It does exist, but it could be coming like a bit further in the future or even next year. But we'll still have to
Yeah.
wait and see what happens. And we haven't even had a taste of multiplayer unless they decide to go full on single player, which I don't not mind. And it's also the kind of game that just follows up to GoldenEye. But more information will come, but it's
Yeah.
still like one of the most impressive things we've seen during summer of the each year, some sort. But
Yeah. Summer Game Fest. Yeah.
let's move
Um.
on. Doom
Next go.
Dark Ages, and you're pretty much head over heels with this one.
Game of the show. I love this game. You know, I just said about how I played Gears of War 4. I've also downloaded Doom 2016 because I'm in a mood to play Doom as well. So I'm playing old Doom but old Gears of War to get me excited for the new Gears of War, the new Doom. This one looks so good. Medieval Doom. Um, yeah, you get the cool shield. It's like, have you seen that meme online where it says Captain America and then cooler Captain America and it's Doom guy with the shield is the cooler Captain America?
Yes. Mm,
It looks so cool. I'm so excited for it. Yeah, I mean, this is probably my game of the show. Is this or there's two possible game of the shows? This one or something else, which we'll get to later. But this, oh boy, it looks cool. It looks so rad. I love it. Like mulching up skulls in this like blender thing to shoot like skull pieces like bullets. It's like what the hell? That's so metal. That's so cool. And I have a shield that you can turn into a blade, like into like a chainsaw that you can throw. Like, come on. This is so cool. It's a bit wacky and a bit goofy, but I love it. It's oh you can and there's a neck and you can fly on a dragon. Like, damn, this game looks cool. Well, I mean, I'm excited. I don't know about how excited are you for this? Are you into it? Are you
not
gonna
so much,
play
really.
it?
But then I think, to be honest, it's just like the way you explained it, it just makes me realize that this is much cooler than I first saw it. And the fact it's already been like on YouTube and being presented with PlayStation, it fetched about over a
Yeah.
million views and shows that this is basically the game of Doom that's going to be huge. And I've been
Oh yeah.
seeing that people are like took the interest. Well, I mean, it's going to be closer to the original than the Eternal, and it will have all the gameplay quirks sorted out, which could well be the next best thing since the 2006 Doom. But for me, I would have put it on A because I'm
Ooh,
not in,
really?
I'm not really sold by that. But I think eventually I might grow and like say, oh, that could be a really good game. So I just, but for now,
Man, that's totally an S for me. That's totally an S for me. Oh, that's so. Oh no, I don't want to fight you. I will. Rock paper scissors.
I think that's
How are we
another
going to
video
decide?
game idea. Why Doom is the
All
next
right, okay.
game of the year?
I'll concede it to go to A because there is a game that I want to put in S later on, and I don't think we can have too many games in S. So I will give you A, even though it is an S in my heart and in my soul. But we will go for A.
Now then, next one. Metal Gear Solid Delta.
Oh no, I forgot about Metal Gear Solid. That's also an S in my head. Damn it, I forgot about that. God, Metal Gear Solid 3 is one of the greatest games of all time. I'm more of a Metal Gear Solid 1 fan than 3, personally, but still. Metal Gear, so good. Virtuous Mission. I've watched it, the Xbox podcast had an interview after the show, and there was also another interview with David Hayter on their YouTube channel. It looks like they're doing a good job with it. Obviously, there's no Kojima anymore. They're reusing the voice assets from the original game, but uncompressed. They're just basically using Unreal Engine 5 for the visuals and improved like audio stuff. So it's basically just going to look a lot nicer and sound a lot nicer, but it might be very similar in every other way. Apparently, the gameplay, you have two gameplay options as well. So you have classic mode, which is like the original Metal Gear Solid 3, or you could go third person action, which is like over the shoulder. So like Resident Evil 4, I guess, like the remake. So it looks good. I'm a little bit trepidatious because they released the collection not that long ago and it was buggy and broken. But it does sound that they're passionate about this, and it does sound that they're going to put a bit of effort into this one. So I'm not really sure. I would say I want to put it in S, but I'm going to give it an A myself personally. How about you?
I would put it an A, even though they're blown away by how awesome it looks. And it, to me,
Yeah,
like, Metal Gear Solid 3 was like remade and is placed into the, I think it's as a pachinko machine thing. But now they just gone full on like Metal Gear Solid 5 treatment using a special engine for it, which I think is called Fox Die engine or some sort. They are like
yeah.
re
Well, the
remaking this game into this engine, and it's
yeah,
just got all the controls, and it's going to be really solid, and it's very
yeah,
promising. But then, considering Konami, I'm not entirely sure if this is going to be like huge or anything like that, or whether this turns out
no,
to be a disappointment. But based off what I saw, it does have a huge potential. And the fact that you, like you said, with all the virtual missions in the classic mode, I feel this could be like the most definitive version of this game, complete with better graphics and controls. So I'm gonna
yes. I
put
mean,
it. You,
so they did say it's going to be an Unreal Engine 5. They said that in the interview I listened to the other day.
oh, did they?
Uh, yeah, so they
Ooh.
moved over. So it's going to be very good visual quality, good audio quality. And yeah, I'm excited. They said that they're really, really focused on making this good. They said they use the term Delta because it means the same but improved or something, is what they were saying. And they just want to
Yeah.
make the best version of this game they can. So I'm hoping they do that, but I'm not. I'm not 100% sure they will, but I hope they will. Fingers crossed. That's why it's not an S, because I don't trust Konami to nail it. But hopefully they will nail it, and hopefully I'm wrong.
Well, I'm still impressed with the trailer, and the fact it's being made in like Unreal Engine 5, that's even
Yeah.
good. And I have yet to see the deep dives into Avowed and Metal Gear Solid Delta, but I'm gonna be even more impressed by both of them. And but it still ends up in the A that while I'm still a bit skeptical with it, I still see a lot of potential in it. So it just goes there. Anyway,
Yeah. What's next?
speaking of which, Avowed.
Ooh, that's a hard one. Because me personally, this is probably the game I'm most excited for this year. Because I'm like, ooh, it's it's an Elder Scrolls type game made by the people who made Fallout New Vegas. And as far as I'm concerned, Oblivion have never missed. They've only made good games. They made KOTOR 2, South Park The Stick of Truth, Fallout New Vegas, Pentiment, Grounded. They've never made a bad game. However, I don't think this trailer was very good. Uh, Spencer and Phil in the PS We Trust reactions both went to the toilet during this trailer. So they must have not been that interested in it. It doesn't. The trailer doesn't do it justice. After watching the deep dive, I was a lot more into it. But if we're going purely off the trailer from the conference, I'd say maybe a B. But I personally, in my personal opinion, my excitement level is an S. But as if we're going purely off what we saw at the conference, I'm going to go for B because I don't think they did a very good job selling us the game. To be honest, with that trailer.
So,
How about you?
You saw the deep dive. Did it help
Yes.
you convince this is going to look really good?
Yes. The deep dive looked really interesting. So I recommend checking that out after we listen to our podcast. The official Xbox podcast, they're doing deep dives all week. They did Avowed and Metal Gear Solid 5, and they got a couple of others coming up in the next few days.
No, this Metal Gear Solid Delta, not 5.
Delta. So why did I say 5? Yeah, Delta, sorry. Anyway, yeah, so the Avowed one was really interesting. It was showing like this new character and explaining the backstory and like your powers and why you're called the Avowed and all this stuff. And it looked really fun. They were like fighting mushroom people, which was really weird. But
that sounds like the Elder Scrolls Last of Us, though, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And then they were like showing this one mission where you need to try and get to this tree goddess who's a bit like a lady Groot, and then basically it shows the way if you killed everyone on the way, she goes, "You killed my family, prepare to die," kind of logic. But then if you stealth all the way through it, she's like, "Oh, thank you for not killing all my relatives. Here you go," and you pass the mission that way. So it shows like doing the same mission but in different ways, which was really cool. Like choices and how like stuff works in different ways. It looked really. The deep dive sold me on it a lot more than the trailer did. And said the trailer not so great, but I feel the deep dive was really very good. Check it out if you get a chance. How about you? Where would you put this on your opinion?
I would say that the trailer didn't exactly got me interested, but I do have a lot of hope for this being like the next step up from like Elder Scrolls, and I feel this could be it. And it's also quite colourful. Also based off what I experienced with Obsidian, it's like really impressive what they did. But I think to me, I think if it's anyone who's interested to check this game out, I feel the showcase trailer doesn't really cut it enough. But especially for the deep dive, like trying like already like save the game, I would say I would put it into the B tier. So
yeah, I agree.
I think that's a fair placement for it. Anyway,
Obsidian, if you're watching this, I still love you. Don't take it badly. I really think you're our best developer in the Xbox brand. But yeah.
Now then, let's go to the Quickfire bonus round, where it's just a few words and everything. I know where I would put it into the grades there, but all I have to do is mention the name of each one on the list, and we'll give quick grades to each one of them. So, ready?
All right. I am ready.
World of Warcraft, the expansion. War Within?
D.
D.
It should have been a console. It should have been an announcement for World of Warcraft on console. We're not at a PC conference or an Xbox conference. I want Xbox stuff.
I think this
one... It just showed a lot of the a load of old trailers as well instead of new stuff. There's a lot of repeating the old trailers and all that. Anyway, sorry. Yoko.
We're supposed to summarize them all up, but yeah, it's just this one. It's pretty much another expansion. It's not really that huge. So yeah, I think D. I was gonna be kind to put it in the C, but I think D deserves to.
You can put it in C. I don't mind.
No, just D. D. Delabo for DLC, Festival of Hatred, CGI trailer, and it goes in D, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say rad trailer. Thought it was really like gruesome trailer. Thought it was rad. The game looks sick, but yeah, no, it didn't really show us what the game was. So yeah, I agree.
Dragon Age, the Field Guard, bit of a generic one, and I haven't really checked into this Dragon Age stuff, so I'm not really interested in it. Especially what I see in the BioWare. I think I will be putting in C. You?
I was going to put it in D because of this trailer. Apparently, the gameplay they've shown behind closed doors has been really good, and like the other stuff they've shown has been really good. But this trailer was fucking awful. It was like Guardians of the Galaxy, Dungeons and Dragons. You know, have you seen that Dungeons and Dragons movie?
Mm.
It's like that. That's what it came across as. It was like, he's behind me, isn't he? Like that kind of humor. I'm like,
Oh, Marvel humor. D.
I love Marvel, but yeah, people do too much now.
It's too much, yes.
Too much.
Next
game.
Now, Exposition. I can't pronounce shit. Exposition 33. Well, D
or C. B or C. I thought it was good. It looks interesting.
It's interesting. Hasn't really sold me on the whole thing, and it's just like those other games there. So I'm not too convinced. D.
Oh, I would have put it in C myself, but okay, D. You can put it in D if you like.
Is that? Well, I suppose. Yeah, actually, just put it in a C. I was looking at it.
I don't think it was bad. I just thought it was. I thought it was interesting. Anyway,
Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Ooh, C.
Yeah, I think I would put CT there. As much as I like the theming of it, I like the theming of this game, but I'm not really convinced. And also based on what I've seen with Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed, one of the mill games, not very convinced. So it goes in C.
Nothing since Assassin's Creed 2 was really, or Assassin's Creed 4. Assassin's Creed 2 or 4 are the best ones. They haven't really had one that I've liked since. So yeah, unfortunately.
But yeah, it's just. I think it's just another run-of-the-mill thing, but if it was like a remake or remaster of Assassin's Creed 2, yeah, that might be a bit higher, but whatever. Anyway, Age of Mythology Retold.
Ooh, I'm not sure, honestly. I'm not really an RTS person. Where would you put it? Because I'm not sure.
Put it in D because I'm not convinced, and I haven't played any of those games there. But I think it's just, to me, it's just like it's probably likely to be forgotten about. So, but it could get better. But an Aria might be all right. So where would you put it then?
Yeah, I'd say C or D. Yeah, I would put it in D if you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mixtape.
Everyone looks really interesting. All the reactions I saw, everyone said this looks incredible. I wasn't sold.
Me neither.
Personally.
I think it just feels like one of those Game Pass stocking fillers where it's just like one of those smaller adventures that focuses on the narrative. Yeah. And I played a lot of those on Game Pass. So I think I'm just more tempted to put between B and C.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, C. I think C would be good.
Yeah, I think it was just C. Yeah.
It's made by the people who made The Artful Escape. It looks interesting. I like the idea of the music.
Oh, why did you mention it? I would be so interested in that since the Artful Escape is amazing. But I suppose I think all I can say is just I'll wait for this to come over. That if I'm still on Game Pass and check it out, I'll be blown away. But to me, that didn't really sold me enough and doesn't say much, so just belongs.
I'll probably try it as it's on Game Pass, and if it's like a 3-hour game, they get 1,000 gamers score, then sure. I'll give it a shot.
Wichang! Where should we put?
No idea. I almost probably the most forgettable game of the entire conference, which sounds harsh, but
yeah, I think I would put it in D because I think it's just trying to go into saturated market of video Japan style games.
Yeah,
and we see
samurai games are another thing now. Yeah. And it's not as good as Assassin's Creed. Honestly, it doesn't look as good as Assassin's Creed. So I would say below. I would say D. Yeah.
To me, I think the Ghost of Tsushima is pretty much the best game you can get so far.
Oh, yeah.
And yet you get loads of copycats that try to steal the formula. So I would say, yeah, it just belongs in D. D.
This list has got a totally different to where I thought it'd be really top heavy, but it seems like it's very bottom heavy at the moment. This tier list, we don't get on everything.
Well, then you just met me.
Welcome to the dunk zone. Everything's a D.
Life is Strange, Double Exposure, think this is a
Looks
sequel to the.
interesting.
I think this is a sequel to the original, so that's
Yeah,
interesting.
looks interesting. Not
But
my
I
kind of
think
game at all, though.
no, I think after so many Life is Strange games, I think now it's just a case of like, well, there's got to be one Life is Strange game that will get me interested. But I think the
You'd
all
think
others didn't really sold me as much as the earlier two
it looks
games.
cool.
Yeah.
I think I think for a lot of people this game would be an S, and a lot of people this game would be a D. I don't think there's really much in between. I think like you either love these type of games or you have no interest in them whatsoever.
It's a
I would
mixed
maybe give
bag.
it a
So
yeah, I maybe give it a B or a C. I think
I
it
would give
looks
it a
good, but
C.
I'm yeah, all right, we'll go see. I'm not probably going to play it, but I understand why people like it and they're excited for it. So
Why would you
there you
think
go.
that people would be giving it an S?
Because some people adore Life is Strange. It's like their favorite thing ever. It's completely their favorite game of all time.
I think this is likely to
So,
be a fan favorite in the Xbox showcase, but who knows?
yeah.
If there's a Ruby game, it could be D, but people would put it into S because it's got bumblebees in it.
Oh, fucking Ruby again. I'm wondering how you're going to bring Ruby up. You found a way.
But anyway, Flintlock, Siege of Dawn.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to Flintlock. I don't think it's an S or an A by any means, but I'm excited for it. I think it looks like fun. It's coming out in July. It's a Souls-like game coming to Game Pass. I'll probably give it a B or a C
I think I
personally.
I think I'm hovering between C and B, but I think to be honest, I think the B goes in there because I think there's a few
Yeah,
hints of it that shows this is a
yeah,
particularly well
it looks
made.
fun.
When I first saw it, it's just like, oh, it looks like a bit like Forspoken, but it could be miles
Yeah,
better than Forspoken, and could be the Forspoken game we're looking for. So maybe this could be it. No cheese, just full on great game. So we could,
I like cheese.
we'll just put a B as a benefit of the doubt.
Yeah,
But yeah, Winter Boy, Mouse Game, what do you think?
cute, cute. I don't understand why it was in the conference though. It felt really out of place, honestly. But it was cute and it looked nice. Cozy. Apart from the owl trying to kill your best friend or your lover or whatever mouse that was, your boyfriend mouse getting kidnapped by an owl. I don't know. Honestly, in my head, before we did the tier list, I was going to put it in D, and then I'm looking at the D list now, and I'm like,
I would
wasn't
put
that
it
bad.
between. I just put it around C because I think
Yeah,
it
I
looks
see.
particularly interesting, but it kind of gives me nightmares of Don't Starve and just how
Yeah,
ridiculous it is to survive in like Winter Wonderlands and all
it,
their crafting. So I
it
like.
looks like if Don't Starve and Ori had a baby. That's what it kind of looks like. It gives you
I don't think
like
there's a lot to
Ori
hoot to
vibes.
put in like B or above, so I would say put in C.
C's good. C's good.
And Mecha Break. Not
Oh, even forgot that. I forgot that game even existed. Mech game.
well, you could say it's a
Generic
D,
meta
but
game.
I think there's a lot of potential and see some armor core elements with it. So I think I know it's not in Game Pass and you only get a beta, which is likely to be a live service game. But based on what I've
Oh,
seen,
D then.
I would be looking at the C for this one.
All right. Yeah, we'll go see.
Yeah,
How many more games we got left?
about just a just a few really, handful.
Okay, cool. Cool, cool,
Because
cool.
towards the end we just have a quick talk about three of the games in the list. But
Really the best ones.
we're just now returning to talk about what else we can say about it. So, Atomfall from the
I thought
makers
this
of
looked interesting.
Atomfall from the makers of Sniper Elite, and yeah, I think it does happen that everyone goes to Rapture stuff, and it's just kind
Yeah.
of interesting. But it does have some Fallout esque in the small scale map, the way I see it. What do
Yeah.
you think?
It reminds me a lot of Atomic Heart. That kind of thing gives you that vibe.
Oh, you bring up
Uh,
Atomic Heart again.
yeah, I didn't mind Atomic Heart. It was all right. It wasn't the best game ever. I would say this is a B for me. I wouldn't say it's anywhere near Doom or Metal Gear Solid, but it looks solid enough. I don't think it looks like a bad game by any means. I think it looks like a fun
I
experience. I probably will
feel
try it.
I feel convinced that this because we don't have enough British themed games, and this one has got
Yeah.
British written all over it. And I think,
All
based on what I've
things bright
seen,
and
it
beautiful.
does it does look rather interesting. It gave sort of nostalgia of like going in the village and then going to some mysterious
Yeah.
bunker. And I think there's going to be a lot of potential. I feel this is a game that when it receives enough gameplay trailers, everyone will be excited for it. So I would say, yeah, this belongs in the B, but this is only like give you a snapshot of what it's supposed to be about.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Now, Fragpunk, cards, possibly
Oh,
life surface.
it looks better than Concord. But that's not saying much.
Yes, you bet you say it is, but I would say it's like Overwatch 2 with cards in it. So
Yeah, I think it looks interesting. So it's basically here it's a hero shooter like Overwatch, and then you got the ability to like basically modify the game while you're playing. So you can make people have big heads, or you can make grass appear, so you can go stealthy, or you can make the guns more powerful. You can like mod your game while you're playing it, which I think is a really cool concept. I think it looks kind of rad. I think it's one of those games that it could be a D, but we could end up playing it, and I might love this game when it comes out. But I don't know. It does look like an Overwatch clone, but it looks like a more interesting Overwatch clone than Concord and a lot of other games of that ilk. I
well,
don't
to
know.
me,
What do you think?
I think it's a bit flashy with the card gimmick there because I've seen loads of games that has cards for gameplay, like
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VIII lets you use cards in the game. You have like
Yeah.
a few other GameCube games that let you use cards in it as well. So it seems like throwing cards in the game is a bit of a cliche gimmick. But I think based on what you described and how you mod the game, it just makes me more curious to know what this game entails. Even though this is likely
Yeah.
to be a live service game, and if it has loot boxes, that's a hell of a price to pay for it. But I think to be honest, on the benefit of a doubt, I would say put it on the B tier for now.
I agree. I agree. Also, it makes me think of like my favorite shooter of all time is Halo, and I love that basically you can go into a Halo game and you could go, I'll go Fiesta today, or I'll go SWAT, or I'll go big. Like you basically have like lots of different varieties of game modes and different things to do. I feel like Fragpunk will be doing that. It'd be a very reminds me of a lot of playing GoldenEye with cheats on back in the day when you were a kid, and like kind of that kind of vibe. And I can totally dig that. I hope that might be interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think B's fair. I think B's fair. It might be shit, but it looks alright from what we've seen.
So I think we're just going through it. But next one,
Yeah, well,
we'll be talking about the game where the PS3 Trust guys thought you're going to hate it because it has a female protagonist in it.
yeah, women. Am I right?
How do they think of that? Like, they think, oh, I hate
I
this.
don't know.
Lewis is going to hate this game because it has a female protagonist. And I,
It's
what?
because PlayStation can't write female protagonists. So like when I say when I say Abby is a shit character or Aloy is a shit character, they just assume I mean all women. No, I just think PlayStation is just shit at making games. So there you go. Minecraft. I mean, Samus Aran is one of my favorite characters of all time, and she's a woman. So take that.
I feel this
Crazy
is
people.
like
Anyway.
going into console wars playground insults. It's like, oh, he hates PlayStation games, therefore he hates games with female protagonists in. Well,
Pretty much.
have they even saw us play Hellblade 2? It's got a female bloody
Yeah.
protagonist in it.
I
It's
gave it
Perfect
an
Dark. We gave it a S. I mean,
Yeah,
And
that's
it-
true. Perfect Dark is an S. I just forgot about that. Yeah,
I mean-
and also they also think that I don't like third-person adventure games, which is what South of Midnight is. It's like, no, I just said I don't like the PlayStation only release those type of games. You look at this list of games here, how many of these are third-person adventure games? And then if you look at a PlayStation doing the same kind of conference, it'll be all third-person adventure games. That's all they make. It doesn't mean that I don't like them. It just means that you need to make a bit more variety in your console, PlayStation.
and
God
this is
damn, I
all
mean,
coming
Astro-
from the PlayStation guys who literally went to a fucking toilet doing the Avowed trailer.
Ooh,
And it just tells me, like, are they more interested in third-person
Well, that's
adventures
what they care
than
about. They're PlayStation
first-person
guys.
games that is on the Xbox. I mean, what? I think this is just nothing but console wars tripe.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
But
Well,
anyway,
if they see a first person camera, they're like, "Oh no, I can't like that." No, it has to be third person. We have to be behind the person at all times, or I don't like it. It's like,
it
and I
needs
have
to
to
game.
act woke, and I have to be like protect all women because they need to be protected because we're blokes and we can't say anything negative about women
I think it's
because we have to
just.
be protective.
I think they would prefer this kind of games so they can stare their ass there. You know the Crash
That's what it is.
Bandicoot.
They like,
That's a Crash Bandicoot game that comes with the PlayStation 1. Guess what the working title for this?
what?
Sonic's ass game, because you're staring at his ass all the time.
What? I've never heard that before.
Look it up at Google, you'll find
Yeah.
out. But yeah, it's just.
that's
But yeah, I think this is more of a bias there. Like PlayStation this,
Yeah.
Xbox this. But anyway, we're just off track there. And
we
I
got off
thought,
topic. So
not
South of Midnight
particularly.
looks like
Not particularly interested at first, but when I saw it, I feel it's just more of a simple game that's not likely to be huge, but it's more like a hack and slash that focuses on bosses. And I feel, I think I can definitely see myself playing it, and it's just actually quite interesting. So I think based on that, I would be between A and B. So you were saying something about it?
I was saying that it looks like it's an interesting female protagonist who actually has some character and isn't generic as fuck like Aloy. And she also can do actually has combat attacks and stuff. And the combat the world looks interesting. The character looks interesting. It doesn't look like a generic PlayStation game, so I'll give it an A.
Yeah, well, that's very good, and I think it's just more of a case of fuck you, PlayStation guys. This is their Xbox game, and you guys just hate the fact they've been dunking on PlayStation games. Disgusting.
They just hate the fact that most of our we got a load of first person shooter games as well as third person. They just hate that. They hate that we have first person games. It's like, how dare you have games that you can look through the camera? How dare you?
Well, on the subject of Halo on the PlayStation, you said that like you don't like the adapter triggers and haptic feedback, and it's like disgusting.
I don't.
And then
I do. Yeah.
On the PlayStation podcast, there it's just like I don't like Halo on PlayStation because it's got all those flighty controls, flighty jump.
Which one is better for controlling a shooter? And there is a correct answer. It's this one. Right?
Do a
this
sense
is for
on,
shooters.
Do a sense
this
on
is not for shooters.
What?
This is not for shooters. This is not for first-person shooter games. This is for third-person sad dad simulators. That's how the controller is designed. This is designed with shooters in mind. You got triggers and you got the sticks offset. If you want to be a sad dad and walk around, you play with this controller. If you want to play good shooter games, you play with this controller. Thank you. That is my personal statement on the matter.
And if you like walking mums simulators, you don't get it on the DualSense. You just get it on this, and that's where you play as a female walking around. So, but if you want to go into like
to herself,
but if you just like fall into the universe and you want to shoot robots and bugs while you get the feel of the guns and know, making sure that your magazine is totally empty and before you reload, before you waste all that ammo, this is it.
PlayStation controller again.
But
you were referencing Helldivers then, I'm confused.
But if you just don't really want any of this and you just want to go for really simple games, then get a Joy-Cons. That's all you get.
Oh, shots fired. Anyway, we got very console war in here, but Xbox is just rules. So there you go. Anyway, next game,
Fable.
S. Female protagonist S. No, it's because it's got the guy from Peep Show in it. I didn't realize he was that guy from Peep Show. I thought it was the guy from In-Betweeners, but it was the guy from Peep Show in the trailer.
That's last year's trailer.
It's so good. It's
So
so
what's this
funny.
guy on the recent trailer? You said you recognize him from In-Betweeners.
Before he was from In Between Us, no, but he's the guy from Peep Show. Have you ever watched Peep Show?
I have,
Uh,
but it's long
he,
ass time long ago because there's like, oh, well, there's
it's
Mitchell and
a
Webb there, and then there's some other guys
yeah.
too, so I don't remember them as much
Yeah,
as them.
it's Mitchell and Webb's friend, Super Hands, I think his name is, and he's like really cocky and stuff. It's him. He's from In Between Us. I didn't realize that until watching it back. Yeah, really funny trailer. This game looks amazing. There needs to be more video games with humor in it. It's got British humor all over it. It kind of reminds me of What We Are in the Shadows. I think that's what it's called. Or like it has like nice British humor in it. I'm so excited for this. I can't wait to see who the next British comedian who shows up in these trailers. I can't wait. Um,
To
but yeah, this
me,
looks really good.
to me, I feel that I haven't played any of the Fable games. Bought Fable 3, but then never
Ooh.
unwrapped it, so I may have gotten rid of it. But I think what I've seen is just like, this is an interesting RPG with some British vibes to it. But
Yeah,
to me, this appears to be a bit of a reboot, and
yeah,
I don't know a great deal. But I must say that the trailer and the showcase is much better than last year because it shows you more gameplay and you know what you're doing.
yeah.
But I think it's still a
So,
little bit fun, and I feel that I was kind of tempted to give it a B or A because it
ooh,
shows more than
wow, I was
last
gonna,
year, and I think it's more interesting.
I see. I was going to give it an S, but basically, with Fable, it's one of those games. There's a lot of this is the one of the games that kind of came up with the whole good and evil choices kind of dynamic that became like a trend for the years afterwards. Like Mass Effect did it and Infamous did it and stuff did it after that. We have like good and bad, and like the more bad stuff you do, the more like you turn into like a monster. The more good stuff you do, the better you are. And it's like a classic RPG. I love it. Uh, Fable 2 is one of my favorite games. You have a dog in Fable 2 who's like your partner and stuff. It's so cute.
Oh, I
Um,
know how to make the game better. For a dog
and a
that
dog.
goes by your side, just make sure you don't kill it, because otherwise it'll be
Yes.
given negative
Then
reviews
it
on
gets
Steam.
dropped. Exactly. But yeah, I would have given this an S. So should we say A because you were thinking B, I was thinking
Yes.
S, and then kind of just be in the middle.
Yeah, let's
But
put
I
it
would
in
have
the
definitely given this an S.
A. So, yep, I
Yeah.
think that's fair. Now, Stalker 2.
Ooh, that's a good one. A or S, but maybe A,
And why
maybe
would
not
you think of
S.
that?
It's beautiful. It's gorgeous, and it's been made by a game. It's been made by a team who's in the middle of a war zone. It looks incredible. It looks uh like a modern I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like kind of like a Fallout game, but it looks really good, and it's like it reminds me a lot of like a Bioshock or like those type of games. I've got like immersive sim. I think that's the term they use. I think that's what it's called, like that type of game, and like a horror game. The world looks super interesting. The graphics look really good. I'm really impressed by the game itself. Last year, when they had the extended showcase, I was almost crying watching the video about the devs and the developers and how they're making it. And I think, maybe if we just look at the game in a vacuum, maybe it wouldn't be as high. But knowing all the stuff going on in the background also makes it a lot more personal. It makes it a lot more interesting to me. So I would probably give it an A, honestly. I don't know about you.
I'm going to put it into S because
Oh,
that's a lot of work done. And they already had extra time to work on this. But when I saw it, it looked fantastic. The gunplay is really interesting. And
yeah,
I haven't got into like Stalker games that much. I've gotten into the original, but the whole trailer sold it to me. Really
yeah,
good. You can tell the developers have poured blood, sweat, and tears into it and making this something that is really good, which makes it very, very disappointing if it doesn't get a really good rating because it's just where they just put so much
hopeful.
heart into this game. It's a long-awaited sequel as well. I mean, I think I would be saying as if I have some kind of bias because of the war thing, but I think to
Yeah.
me, this one looked very impressive for what it is.
Yeah, I think it looks good. I think an S is fair. Yeah.
Indiana Jones is the next one, so
Oh,
that's a
I love
big
it.
one.
Uh, this is the big game for this year. Um, I don't know. I was thinking A or S again. Um, I could put it in S, but I think it's more likely to be an A because I think the trailer wasn't the best. It was just basically watching a bit of the movie. To be honest, it didn't show much gameplay. It was just a very elaborate cutscene. But I really enjoy it. I'm really excited for it because I love Indiana Jones, and I think Troy Baker's done a really good job voicing Harrison Ford. He sounds just like Harrison Ford. He's nailed
Yes,
it.
that
I think it looks really cool.
that's a very impressive thing. That the fact that Troy Baker's like voiced him, and it's just like, wow, that's it's really good. It's just hard to tell the difference between him and Indy, and I feel, yeah, this is really good. So I'm just gonna look up on the international movie base and see what, um, like, see about Troy Baker in inclusion in it, because when I watched the trailer, I'm like, oh, I just thought it looks like the whole thing, and the game is like really interesting. But I think, to be
Yeah.
honest, the trailer this time, that I think the developers direct is like more exciting. But
Yeah.
I'm not.
Choo-choo!
But I'm not particularly.
Choo-choo!
But I'm not particularly that in. I don't find that the latest trailer to be that interesting, and I feel that they just probably like had one last long cutscene, and it just makes me feel like, they could be loaded with lots of cutscenes like Persona, and it should be because the gameplay is what sells it, and it should be.
Yeah.
But
Too many cutscenes, like those PlayStation games. They're full of cutscenes. It's too PlayStation. I did like the cutscene a bit. He's like going, "You watch your cartoons, choo choo, choo choo." I thought that was hilarious. He goes, "Your beer tastes like piss." I thought that was really funny. It's funny. Yeah, they're fighting over the stone. It was very Indiana Jones. It felt like I was watching an Indiana Jones film, but I don't play video games to watch films. So I'm like, I was watching it. I was entertained. I was like, oh yes, this reminds me of Indiana Jones. But then I also in the back of my head was like, but can we play some gameplay, please? Because I'm not here to watch movies. Like that was kind of in the back of my head. But yeah, I think it looks fun. I give it
well,
an
um, well, I guess what the other stuff of Troy Baker is, because I recognise his name as well.
Oh, he's in everything. Troy Baker. He's in Last of Us.
Yeah, as
He's in Uncharted
I was going to
4.
mention, he played Joel in the Last of Us series,
Yeah.
and also appeared in like the DC films. But guess what?
Rumors is he's one.
Guess who else he played as in another production?
He was in Infamous Second Son. He's in so many games. He was rumor is he's going to be voicing the male protagonist in GTA 6 from literally one word of dialogue from the trailer. People think it's Troy Baker. I don't know. Go on. What game are you referring to? Because he's in loads.
He played as Batman in Justice League X Ruby Part 2.
Oh, all right. Well, he plays the Joker in the reboot of like the Origins, Batman Origins, I think it was. He played the Joker, sort of Mark Hamill for the first
Yeah.
time. Yeah. So there you go. Troy Baker's a really talented voice actor, I must say. So yeah, and he's done a really good job as Indiana Jones. And I'm sure you can't really tell it's him until like you watch it back, which is kind of crazy. And I'm very impressed. But yeah, Indiana Jones off subject a little bit. Indiana Jones, I would give that an A. Probably again, like Avowed, I'm very excited for this game, so probably an S in excitement levels. But as for trailers in the conference, I'd say A.
I haven't been thinking a lot about it, and I think the developer direct has given me the best, and the trailer in the showcase didn't really live up to it. But I'm still gonna give it an A because I am still impressed that this game's happening, and Bethesda's like doing a really good job with it. So yeah, it just got me very interested in the game, and I think the more I see of it, the more it's going to be like a top game. But then again, it's a Bethesda game, so we just have to like wait and see how's it going to turn out to be.
I mean, it's made by the people who made Wolfenstein, so they love their beating up Nazis. This is kind of their thing.
That's a bit of an uncanny resemblance with him. I wonder
Yeah.
why. I wonder why. Anyway, now we're just going with another quickfire round. This time, we'll quickly go through 3 games because there isn't that much to talk about. So,
Okay.
State of Decay 3, just a small trailer.
B.
What?
B. I said B.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of it, and I haven't played a lot of State of Decay to form an opinion. But as a map, but to say with a benefit of doubt, I think this really belongs in like B, even though we should be seeing a lot more of it. But at least we get more content from the trailer than literally women like shouting at the deer.
Yeah, that was the original trailer for 2020. It was just a woman yelling at a deer. So at least we've seen some gameplay. We've seen some trailer and stuff. It looks interesting. It's not really my cup of tea, but I will might give it a try when it comes out. I think it looks fun. It looks interesting, and I'm glad we're actually seeing some more of it. So that's good. Yeah.
Flight Simulator. Oh, sorry. Flight
Oh.
Simulator 2024.
As a technical achievement in games design, I would say an S, but as an actual game, I would say more like a B or a C. So it's going to be kind of boring.
I do feel B's more deserving for it because I was blown away by the last game of it and how well it did on Xbox. But based off what I experienced for the user interface of it, and it looks as if it's made for PC, I'm not completely sold on this. And I don't know if Microsoft has made any adjustments to it that will make it a lot better for Xbox. But it does have a lot of stuff going on, and I have more hopes that this will turn out to be much better than the last offering. So I would say, especially with all the good looks of it, and the fact is like quite a therapeutic experience with it, because I really enjoy soaring over the night skies during a summer's evening, and I feel this just continues with these things. So I would say B.
Yeah. I was watching an interview about this game, and like people were saying, "Well, why didn't you just make an update for Flight Simulator instead of just say like doing Flight Simulator 2024?" So apparently, this is a brand new game with a brand new client, and they've tried to make it more efficient. So this is why it's a brand new game and not just an update. So this is essentially a new game essentially, and they've tried to make it a bit more efficient on space and stuff like that. So I'm hoping it's going to be good. I'm excited for it. And the technical achievement of having the entirety of planet Earth simulated in a video game is incredible. And I still blows me away thinking about that in the original Flight Sim. So yeah, B's fair. B's fair.
Starfield Shattered Space. D.
10 out of 10. Game of S. Game of the year. Game of the decade. I don't know. I like Starfield. I think it looks fun. I will play it. Was I blown away by it? Not really. Was I against it? Not really. I don't know. I thought it looked cool. I was I want to see more of it. It looks kind of interstellar-ish. It looks kind of like multiverse kind of stuff. I don't know. I think it looks cool. I would have given it a B or an A. I wouldn't give it an S.
Well, I think this also covers the trailer for the creation kit, and I think the fact they mentioned this in the mods, that's really good. Yeah. Although the people have been given it a review, they are review bombing the Starfield's page in Steam because some of the mods there are like being sold for microtransactions, and it's been like that for like the previous games. But then that's not part of the whole trailer. The fact that it's just like you now got like creation kit and everything, I think that's like really good. It's something that invites people back to Starfield. But based on what I'm seeing, I don't think it gives me a lot of reasons for me to go back to the game. And I feel I'm not really convinced, even though it does have some exciting stuff like more aliens, more some reality bending stuff, and we could expect to have more exciting missions than what we seen in the original game. So I was kind of thinking like, I think this like goes in the C, but you seem to be giving it a higher rating.
All right, I'll give it a B then, because I was thinking A, you're thinking C. We'll just cut it in half and go for B. We get to see more in Anisha, whatever her name is, her backstory a bit. It's going to be more house of
Andrea, is
room
it?
stuff. Andrea, yeah, that's it. She's great. She's my wife, and I love her. I miss her so much. But you got to admit this game is decent because even the PS We Trust guys said this looked good. So there you go.
Oh,
And
they find
they
it be
hate
quite good.
Starfield.
Nice.
They said, "Oh my god, this actually looks interesting." I'm like, "Oh,
Ooh.
wow."
I bet they're hoping for it to come to PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope they never get it.
Anyway,
um,
last game to go through Gears of War E-Day.
S S S.
Well, they're already straight to the rating there.
Because it is incredible. I said this earlier. They said it was all in-game assets and in-game textures and it all done in the engine. So that's insane in its own right. Just looking at that trailer back and knowing that. It's a prequel, so we get to see Dom and Marcus together, broing it up, and it's the bromance, the greatest bromance of all time, and it's going back to classic Gears of War, like horror roots. It looks incredible. I just can't wait. My only downside is that this sounds like it's going to be a 2026 or 2027 game. Might even be a launch title for the next Xbox.
Oh, that's going to be rough.
I want it now. This is why I'm playing Gears of War 4, just to get my fill, because I have never finished Gears of War 4. It looks so good, though! Oh my god.
The interesting thing
cried.
The interesting thing is that there's a lot of rumors and there's more information suggesting there could be a remake of Halo Combat Evolved that's coming out for 2026 or 2027. Yeah. And if this is the case for the Gears of War game, that it could be coming out in the same time, then Fable 3 should have announced it. But anyway, the fact that this is a trailer, all rendered in Unreal Engine 5, and how really good it looks, and also has a promising environment. I know this is kind of a bit weird for the prequels go, that everything, all of those huge games are getting prequels and even shows like Rings of Power, House of Dragon. But I think with this one, this could be another prime showcase of what Unreal Engine 5 can do. And this is incredibly promising. Even though we could see much about it, but I think I'm just gonna have to give some benefit of doubt. I was especially going to look at A, but because this has literally stalled the whole show off, I would say I think we can please all of us and say this belongs in the S rank. So
S tier. It looks so good. Apparently we get a Gears of War movie and a Gears of War TV show to kind of make sense to kind of almost reboot the series, which makes sense with having a prequel, which is going to have Marcus and Dom in it. Cole is always my favorite character, the Cole Train. Woo, Cole Train, baby! He's always my favorite. So if there's no Cole Train, I will be sad. But I think this is before Cole Train, so I'm like, no, Cole Train! He was always my favorite back in the day. But no Bed. Bed annoys the shit out of me, so there you go. So pros and cons. No, but anyway, I love Gears of War. I've beaten every Gears of War game apart from 4, hence why I'm going back now to finish it, because I never finished 4, so I'm going back to finish it now, so I've beaten them all. I hope it has a good horde mode. I hope it has a good multiplayer. I just want more. Give me more information. Give me a release date. Give me more gameplay. I can't wait to see more of this.
It could be just a single player campaign, so but we still have.
I don't think it'd be just single player.
No,
I think I think Horde and multiplayer is too big for them not to do that. But yeah, this is I think this might be the game I'm most excited for now. Out of every game in the entire world universe, and Grand Theft Auto 6 and Gears of War E-Day. I think that's about. I think those are the two. I think those are the two games I'm most. And maybe the new Elder Scrolls as well, which is coming out So these are all games in 2027, 2028, but I'm still excited for all of them.
Well,
I'm
I think there's a
excited.
good chance it could come out in 2026
Oh,
because I think 2025 you could have it rush, but
yeah.
I don't know. Because bear in mind, Fable's like announced last year, and Fable is coming out next year, so maybe the same could be said about
That's
Gears of
true.
War E-Day being announced, and it will take 2 more years for it to come out. But then for it to be like like a neck with like Grand Theft Auto 6, I think the chances are that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be so talked about that leaves everything else
Oh
in
yeah.
dust, just like with Grand Theft
Oh
Auto
yeah.
5. But
Yeah, I
regardless,
agree with that.
I think I do feel the kind of looks at the 2026 release date because it just seems as if they got everything laid out. Now it's just they need to reveal gameplay and see how it goes. So I think this is
I
really
mean,
quite an exciting game to see. So
if it's the launch title for the new Xbox, I'm already sold. I'm already buying the new Xbox day one if it comes to Gears of War Day. I'm already sold. You don't even have to show me the console or how much it costs. I'm in. I'm in. Sign me up.
anyway, so with this we'll wrap up with the tier list and that we've got Perfect Dark, Stalker 2 and Gears of War E-Day at the S rank, and it's followed by Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Metal Gear Solid Delta, South of Midnight, Fable and Indiana Jones. And
Doom.
if you feel that Doom is like absolutely amazing, then treat
Yeah.
this as an S rank thing. Otherwise, A rank. But
It's me.
it's still like really good anyway. And the rest of the game's on in the lower tiers. So if you're on YouTube or seeing it as a video podcast, then you'll get to see all those games on the screen for a while, so you know where everything is at. But we'll definitely
Oh,
find
I
out
love it.
ways which you can share this image on the socials. So, but I suppose you can like share it on like social media with this image. Then what do you think?
Yeah. Yes, definitely. We share our social media. Maybe after the episode's aired, though, because don't want to spoil it for people.
Yeah,
We'll just blur half of it out just to confuse people.
we'll deal with it
Ooh.
over time because my chicken's in the oven. Got to sort it out, and then I would edit the heck out of this podcast. But with that, till this done.
Thank you for listening to the X Marks the Box podcast. Follow us at X Marks Box on Twitter or X Marks the Box on YouTube. And follow us on all audio podcast services. Thanks for listening.